stage is set, the terms are met. Are you ready for a friendly war? No consolation, we fight to the end. A ruthless competition among friends.
What's up, and welcome to episode 20-something of the No Consolation podcast. We got the usual boys here. I got Mr. Late Night on the mic. How we doing, Ham?
Doing great. How are you, Austin?
You gonna be up late tonight?
So late, all the way to 9 o'clock.
And then, of course, we got the Lord of Stats, the bookie for season 3, 4. Mr. Colin, how are you feeling?
Hello. I'm here.
Those are the words of a broken man. Well, let's go ahead and find out while he's broken. So we had week 4 this past Saturday. I don't know about you guys, but I think it might have been one of our most deranged broadcasts of all time.
I'd say so.
some highs and lows, some deep conversations, some not too deep conversations. But we did start off with Plumbers and Pyromaniacs versus Control Alt Defeat. So going into this week, this was I think Garrett was number 1 and Hamilton was number 2. Is that correct?
Yes. I believe so.
So battle for the top of the league. Both people putting out what I think are close to their A lineups. I can't remember off the top of my head how it went in terms of our predictions. So relatively split. I think that, there was a slight tilt to Hamilton as shown by the 3-2, but overall, I think most people would have pegged this to be a pretty close series. Hamilton, how are you feeling coming in?
Coming in, I was nervous. I mean, Garrett's got a solid team. I had talked to him a little bit beforehand. I figured we were both putting out A lineups. At both A lineups out there, you never know who's really going to come out on top.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Bowser and DK
is it the
overall
titles that are wrong on this highlight, or is it the highlight that is wrong?
It's the titles. Titles are wrong for everything. I was doing a terrible job of that. I was not locked in. I got cooked by the initial production mishap and did not fully recover. I also had a couple drinks, so it was a night. It was one of the nights. But I think it ended up being a pretty disappointing series. I think we kind of had that pegged as getting to start off with a banger. And it ended up in a pretty clean and confident Hamilton win. Colin, I know you've been digging a lot through the history books of SPL, and DK is our most, I haven't rechecked after this week, but coming into this week was our most winningest captain. Do results like this against the best captains change your perspective on that?
I don't know what has changed. Something has changed, but Bowser is actually the all-time winningest captain. Donkey Kong is now 3rd after the results of the last few weeks.
Which makes sense, after a quick 2-0 sweep, that's a 4-game swing.
Yes. I think Donkey Kong has had some great seasons. I definitely can't hear him. I'm back. I think he's been good. He's been great at scoring the goals. He's had some good seasons. Bowser's just so consistent. He might be the best enabler in the SPL history.
I think that, the record from the past 2 seasons and pretty much everything that's not under the helm of Eric would corroborate that. One thing about DK is he handles business also. This is when BHB
Big Hit Birdo.
that hit right there is actually, there's another one. That's a YouTube short right there. Those two hits. But that was the birth of Big Hit Birdo. So it wasn't just Bowser putting it down. But last season when I was managing DK, like in the regular season, I was like 5-0 against non like PD and Bowser like S tier captains, and had lost like every game against those. Hamilton as a fellow DK manager, do you feel like that is kind of a limiting factor for him, just like who the captain is?
I do think that unfortunately I don't think that he can beat a good captain unless there's a significant gap on terms of the sidekicks.
I
I
have the stats here all time. Donkey Kong 36-27 all time. 5-9 versus Bowser. 4-5 versus PD. Winning or 50-50 record against every other captain except for 0-2 versus Waluigi, which I believe is the SPL Season 1 championship.
That
believe it's
Maybe.
the semi.
Oh no, we didn't track that. So it would just be a random regular season game.
plus it was PD versus Waluigi in a best of 5
Oh,
in
true, it was.
the
Yes.
season 1 championship.
I got confused with Austin's and
Yeah.
seasons. But yeah, great record against everyone that's not
I
PD,
will.
Bowser, or
I think
Waluigi for some
Austin
reason.
hinted at it, but I do think that the improvement of Donkey Kong and the downfall of Bowser can mostly be attributed to season one, where, in my opinion, Austin and I were talking about what comps were working the best, and I feel like I had a pretty good handle on what I should be doing with Donkey Kong. And meanwhile, that was the Eric Triple Boo at the start of the season with Bowser.
Morphing into
Uh,
a triple shy guy.
yeah. Um, and so I think that Bowser only got a couple of wins, which does just remind us that you do need good sidekicks, but I think we've figured out who those people are by now. So
Speak for yourself.
yeah, that's not bad. That's
And not to toot our own horn, but I do feel like DK has been very well managed in SPL. Like, not just crediting myself, but I think that Hamilton, was on the forefront of the Dry Bones revolution in season 1, and so that spoke well to him. I think that I had a very good draft last season, and kind of rode that for most of it. So this is kind of like his real test, is what he does kind of like in this more chaotic landscape of season 3, and it's not been great. We'll get to Jacob's result later, but he has not been a banner season for DK. I don't think anyone would argue that. Next series was Terio's Disciples versus Toad and the Bros. Pretty open and shut from the start. Not gonna lie. This was a guarantee from the Pod Boys. I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to find anyone that truly believed in Jake to get it done. Colin, you and I actually both predicted Jake taking it to 3. From your perspective, was there ever a threat to this result?
Um, I mean, the double Birdo lineup is certainly something. But I don't think Jake was ever gonna pull this one out. Would have needed some, which Waluigi is capable of, but he would have needed some major Mega Strike, uh, luck and value.
Yeah. And that's kind of the Waluigi story ever since he lost all his dry bones. I don't think Waluigi has had a single dry bone since season 1. which is a tragic turnaround, and you're not able to muster the same Wastelands magic. But this was a big result for Dave to have to keep pace with Hamilton getting that result in game 1. So he's got to be pretty stoked. But pretty cut and dry. Just Toad and the Bros are a better team, and we'll see if Jake can kind of just get more wins. But that's a question that a lot of us are asking ourselves. And Colin, I'll forward that question to you. Do you think that you will get more wins?
Then what? 0? I
Yeah.
hope so. I got Jake this week. I have Jake 2 of the next 3 weeks. If I'm still winless after week 7, you will not hear me on this podcast. Who knows where I'll be, but I certainly don't deserve to be a voice of the league at that point.
I'll be in Cancun, just living on the beach, getting away from the
Getting
world.
ready to learn Chinese.
You did get a chip bike there. That's a highlight goal. Reed, and I'll let Colin pull up the stats for this while I talk. But Reed is one of the most winning managers in SPL. He genuinely has a great record from both season 2 and season 3. And I don't think any of us were very ecstatic about his draft. I think a lot of us thought it was just pretty purely mid. But he has had a great start to the season. Colin, do you have his rankings in terms of win percentage pulled up by chance?
He is all-time 18 and 16, and after this game, we are now tied in win percentage.
Which, from a rookie manager who came in, that's pretty phenomenal.
5th all-time.
5th all time.
Tied for 4th.
Not bad. Hamilton, what do you make of this magic that Reed seems to have?
I don't know what to make of it, but I'm certainly afraid of it. It did beat me in week 2 with my Bowser lineup. So I am certainly afraid of the green dinosaur and what he can do. And knowing that he's only in 3rd by 5 goal differential, and then it might come down to head. I don't know what the tiebreaker order is, but I'm definitely worried about the second time I have to face this team.
Do you have any concern for him, because he pretty much is gonna have to ride Yoshi out? He has the did with none of the pieces.
I know that there was a trade proposed. I know that I was asked questions about the trade by him, and I told Colin that I would not interfere with that trade whatsoever. And so I did not interfere with that trade whatsoever. But I would say that I think that similar to how we were talking about Danny riding out Bowser and just kind of taking losses with Peach, I think it's possible for Reed to do it with Yoshi. And I think that he could even get a win with the did, especially considering Danny was able to get a win with Peach. So truly anything's possible at this point.
That's fair. So you think that Yoshi will be able to produce the same consistency? Maybe not the same, but enough consistency in the way that Bowser can.
I think that Yoshi stands a real chance of finishing top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's all I really want to commit to, but I do think that Yoshi can score goals, and this team is not bad. It's getting results.
I think that's fair. But we actually had this as a guarantee for Colin. Sorry, Colin.
Yeah.
That looks pretty bad in hindsight. But with the roster that Colin was trotting out, you'd kind of expect it to go that way or at least be close. But that series wrapped up week 3 for MLS. So we've got Hamilton's Plumbers and Pyromaniacs all the way up top based on goal difference. It is a 3-way tie for first between them, Toad and the Bros, Reed Hot Chili Strikers. Control Alt Defeat is 2 points behind in 4th. And then we kind of got the stragglers. Terrio's Disciples are at 4 points, so they're 5 points back. Roughly 2 games with the teams above them being stagnant. And then the Colonials, unfortunately, in last place with 2 points. How do you guys feel about I'll pose this to Colin. How do you feel about Garrett's team? They're, right now not in a bad spot, but they are at -3. Do you think that they have the consistency to hang with those top 3?
Let me look at his roster real quick. I know he is looking to make some changes. Trying to potentially move away from Donkey Kong. But I do think the roster is pretty good as a whole. I think he can string together wins with both captains, which is a plus in this division. I think he's certainly got it in him to make a run here.
Real quick, I just want to see how many games he's played as left team, because that does impact your prospects for the second half of the season. So right now he's got 1 game as left team, 2 games as left team. So he's got a 3-2 left team start to the season. If he doesn't get this next win, I think he's in some real trouble. But I do think he is firmly in the chase. And Hamilton sitting atop the table, you got to be feeling pretty good.
Never comfortable when it's a 3-way tie at the top of the table.
I'd say you're locked in for the win. But that was it for MLS. SPL, don't let this fool you. It was not Reed Hot Chili Strikers versus the Colonials. We already watched that. This was Danny's spread triple option versus my Super Ario Bros. Coming into the series, we all guaranteed Danny. Good shit. Everyone except Colin. Should have been an orange. Going to give us bonus credit for that. But I could not be happier to be parting ways from Wario. Colin, any updates into the Danny cheating accusations? Because at this point, I don't even know. It's not even worth playing.
I've done a limited investigation so far, no results.
Well, if Colin can't find anything, then it's probably helpless. The man is too good at hiding his hacks. But wait, real quick. I'll do it later. I'm gonna investigate how many left team games Danny has, because that could be indicative. I'm also curious how many left team games Hamilton has. Maybe a possible commissioner conspiracy.
I've only played one, and I made the schedule.
I didn't touch this one. I will tell you, Danny is 3 left team games. I am 3 left team games, and my 1 right team game was my loss.
Is that an admission of guilt?
It's an admission of a fact. I'm worried about the second half of the season.
Meanwhile, Colin and I are at 3 right team games and only 1 left team game.
Yes.
So, important things to think about. But Danny did in fact win, and has just won. Absolutely absurd that he has gotten a maximum 12 points out of 12, and all of us are struggling, except Hamilton. Next game, Goose Crusade versus Come On Mr. Monty. Another rough series for DK against a good captain. I really think it is shocking to see Jacob performing this poorly. Colin, can you make any sense of him being at the bottom? I don't think, at the start of the season, we pegged him to be in the relegation battle.
I think I put Jacob as favorite to win the league with his 2 captains. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't really know what's going on this entire season, to be honest. It's really hard to figure out. He's got good captains. He's got good sidekicks. Maybe, he's a captain who's like to keep his lineup static. Maybe with all the lineup changes, he's not able to build up the level of vibes on the team that he needs.
Which, this is I don't even remember this, but on the screen, I have one of the most tragic Sturls of all time. Critter is fully down on the ground. Berto just has to not hit him in the face in the goal. It's his freaking hand. Critter's even trying to pull his hand away, and it still gets hit and stays out. If that doesn't sum up Jacob's season and how disappointing it has been, I really don't know what does. Um, I mean, we haven't had him around that much. So I don't really know what he's thinking or feeling. I do know that he is not taking any trade offers. And so that means he likely will not be making any waiver claims, but that's the Jacob Classic. So not looking great, but big win for Eric. Someone needs to keep the pressure on Danny because surely none of the rest of us are. Final game. Hamilton. I gotta ask you, why was this not a guarantee for Adam?
I just had faith in Freddie. And I didn't trust that Adam was going to find the did lineup. But boy, did he. Even during the game, I was rooting for the did lineup.
I think that was the most we'd ever had Adam on stream ever. I think he like 100x'd his words and SPL history in a stream. And it was fun, and he got to witness the did lineup do it firsthand. So hopefully he'll be finding that more in the season. Colin, I did just for a quick fact check. I did double check just to make sure that you were after you picked up Koopa in season 2, you were 0-2 until you switched him to defense.
Yes, I looked it up. I switched him and Dry Bones, and in this exact orientation, they've never lost a series.
It's 4-0, right?
I think so.
I think you won 2 last season. Then Adam has won
I
2.
beat Reed, and I beat Danny,
who were the top 2 teams in the more
Yes.
difficult conference at that time.
Yes.
More difficult conference is subject to, but I will understand your point.
Do you remember what the series record was?
I'm just saying, do you remember who had more teams in the second round of playoffs?
If you put playoffs into it, guys still lost 12-8. It's still not close.
We had more teams in the second round.
Who of your teams lost to Diddy not in the did lineup? Just normal Diddy Kong.
I stand. We also had both princesses.
And neither one of those was against
And that's
the
your
princess.
fault.
Did he beat 2 non-princesses?
What do you mean? How does that help you that you had 2 princesses? How does that make you better?
Means that the rest of our conference was really good. Just 2 princesses were really bad.
Yeah, sure. The rest of your conference was still well below 500 in interconference play, but that'll be a timeless debate, thanks to those 2 playoff series. But yeah,
All you need.
Not looking good for Freddie. I think that was another little mini. He wasn't in the call, but he could pick up his vibes from chat.
Freddie has self-proclaimed his season is over, currently sitting in 4th place.
Yeah, he is cooked. He is 2 games out from 3rd, which
Yes.
it is crazy that Adam sits in that position. But this was our final SPL table. We've got Danny with a maximum 12 points from 4 games, looking completely unstoppable. Eric chasing him in second, basically just trying to hold on, but still doing well. Adam sitting pretty in 3rd, 2 games back from Eric. And then you have the slop at the bottom, which I think is becoming very concerning about us. Your orientation in 4th and 5th does not matter. You don't want to be 6th, but we might not even be able to catch 3rd in like 2 weeks. So
Let's wait for the right and left teams to switch.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about it? Please give me an intro.
No, I don't want to talk about right left anymore.
Okay, so let's see how many left team games that Freddie has played.
Why are we talking about this? It's been disproven.
2. Freddie has a 2-3 left team schedule. For Colin's sanity, I'll shut up. But it's big. It's important. Don't let the government tell
Colin.
you otherwise. But we thought it might be a good time to do a little bit of tier listing for the conferences themselves because things are starting to shake out a little bit. We got our brand new, beautiful SPL specific tier list with no duplicate captains and the Nintendo Switch ad on the side that you guys can't really see. So this is looking really good. But we will do MLS first.
Sponsored by Nintendo Switch.
What?
Did we get sponsored by Nintendo Switch? Is that the ad?
Yeah, they paid for that
Like-
one small portion.
They're bringing back Mario Strikers Charged 2, and we're pioneering it. Announced now.
We also have a Blue Buffalo ad. Hertz. And I don't know what this is, but we'll find out. Oh, it's JG Wentworth. So that's big. So
Give me some money.
thank you to our loyal sponsors, and all that they have paid us. They really make this possible. But as is tradition with tier lists, we will go down the order alphabetically, place teams, and then it'll be up to the table afterwards. So I will kick us off. Does anyone belong in S?
No.
No. I mean, I feel like
I don't
Danny. I
think
feel like
with three teams, all tied, there can't be like a one standout. I feel like.
Do we want to do this
For
MLS or
the
SPL
MLS.
specific, or do we just want to throw everyone on the board? Because I feel like
I
it's
think conference specific
okay.
or tier specific because we don't play
We
each
could
other.
do-
There's no reason to rank us across conference.
Sure. All right, that's probably smart. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna put Toad and the Bros in A. I feel like they're having a really good season, but I don't feel like they have necessarily stood out. They lost to Control Alt Defeat, which is their pretty direct competitor. But I think that they are in a very good position to be in the promotion fight, so I'm going to put them in A. Colin, who would you like to rank?
You have a Flying Dutchman on there that should be a
There we go.
Red Hot Chili Strikers. Yes. Where do I want to put everyone? I think if they're going in A, I would like to put Garrett, which is Control Alt Defeat, in B. B, as in Bravo.
I think
Job well done.
that's very reasonable. What do you think puts them in B?
They're 2 points back. To be honest, that's pretty much what it is. Other than that, they've pretty much got the job done. They beat Dave, lost to Ham, lost to Jake, which is a tough loss. They got some some things to figure out, but they're in with a shout at the moment, at least for top 3, which is all that really matters.
Hamilton, who would you like to place?
I will take Terrio's Disciples, and I will put them in C. And I'm just gonna say that they've got 4 points. They're pretty much 2 games back off the top of the table, so they're not out of it. But they've also only got 1 win, which does not help their case.
Would it sway you in any way to know they got those 4 points in the first 2 weeks, and the last 2 weeks have gotten 0 points?
I mean, they've played different people.
That is true. They played you and
Um,
Dave, so tougher schedule.
But I think that looking at his right left.
Oh, I already got it pulled up. They I think are at 2-2 right now, but we'll be
Yeah.
finishing 2-3. So 4 points is respectable with a strong right team leaning schedule.
Yeah. I think they can make a serious comeback here in the second half of the season when they get more left teams.
I couldn't agree more. And for that reason, I'm gonna place Colin in B.
Please make an F tier.
He currently is at 1-3 in
There
terms of
should
less
be an
left versus right. And I think he's got a good chance.
There should be an F tier.
I think he belongs in the same tier as
I
Terrier's
don't.
disciples. I think that the only difference between those two teams is the little bit of luck that Terrier's disciples had in the 2 out of 3 from a mega strike in the gray. So
I would like to point out the goals against number.
you want to say it?
Jake has allowed 27. I've allowed 37.
Yeah, but Garrett's allowed 31.
Yeah, and the next lowest is 21.
27.
I already said 27.
Oh,
I'm putting you in
there's-
C. So we
Freddie's
can
allowed
Deserve to be an
28.
F.
we can
I was
put it
looking
to
at
the
the
table.
MLS.
We can put it to the table after. Who would you like to place?
Come on,
Colin?
Mr. Monty's allowed 25. There are 3 teams in SPL that have allowed 25 goals.
That's because they've all played Danny.
No, but like exactly 25 is a crazy stat.
Oh. Actually, I don't know if they've all played Danny. Danny
They
hasn't
have.
played Adam.
Oh.
Danny doesn't even have the most goals for. Goose
No, he doesn't.
Crusade. The Flying
And
Dutchman
you?
have that.
All right, Colin, place a team.
Let's keep looking at
Plumbers, Pyromaniacs, A tier.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no way! Wait, let me go full screen here. We got a Mario ad. Look at that. He supports the boys. This is really good. Hamilton, where are you putting Reed?
I'm gonna struggle to not put Reed in A with the other teams that they're tied in points with. I think that the next 2 weeks will be telling as we come up on the second round of second captains. But for right now, he's getting the job done, and I don't have anything to put him below us in the A department.
I will use the first part of the open table discussion to bring that into question. I think that, based off current results, Reed could be put there. But I personally don't think that he has the same staying power as Toad and the Bros and Plumbers and Pyromaniacs do. Especially because of just depth as the season goes on. And real quick, doing the calculations in my head, he has a 3-1 left team schedule so far. So I think that might find it a little bit more difficult moving forward. Colin, do you think that Reed belongs with those other two?
I think it would be a disservice to put him in a separate tier, but I do think he should be the last team in that tier.
I mean, he's 1-1 against Dave and I, is what I'll say.
And checking the stats on that. He was left team versus you and right team versus David.
And he also got David when Reed had to have his second captain running, which is the did, which I understand is part of the argument that's being made here. But what I'm just going to counter with then is he's undefeated when Yoshi's his captain.
Which were all left team.
Left team games. Yeah.
No
Colin,
one-
you do not have to say anything about what the trade is, but has a trade been secured?
No.
Okay. Because that would also
Great.
change my perception. If you guys are
Trade
both,
has been proposed. But
if you guys are both in agreement with this, I'm cool with it. But I personally think that those first two teams are in their own tier in my mind.
well, they play each other this week, so winner of that could secure the S tier.
That is true. Or they tie.
He's got the left team.
What do you guys feel about this?
I should go down to D.
Okay. Well,
I've
not-
won 2 singular games.
just not acknowledging my changes, but Hamilton, do you think Colin belongs in D?
No. He is not worse than
I was
Terry.
okay with the other, I was okay with the changes though.
You weren't upset at that,
No, I wasn't.
Hamilton?
I don't think there's. Yeah, I do think there is that big of a gap between control, defeat, and the others. I'm okay with this.
Okay. This is.
I don't-
Anyone want to move something?
Bring in the next group.
Okay. Snapshot it. That is MLS rankings. Next SPL inbound. God,
I'm
I
gonna come
missed-
back to it now that people are gone. But how are we gonna say in the same podcast that Reed is the most winning, one of the best win percentage captains, and then say he's not gonna win? Contradicting thoughts there.
He has the same win percentage as me.
Yeah,
He lost in the
We can't go by
playoffs.
win percentage because you and Dave would then just be at the bottom.
yeah.
He choked to top 2 and then lost in the pro rel game.
True.
But he is a winning coach. He just doesn't do it when it counts.
There's nothing
Sorry,
you
Reed,
can
I
do
know
when
you're
the bid
listening.
lineup comes to town.
Okay. SPL. I'm gonna eat that low hanging fruit and put Danny spread triple option into S tier.
Oh, he doesn't belong there.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. S is for spread triple option. STO. Insane. Literally making history. Peach doing things. I don't know how Danny does it.
If
but
you
yeah.
add the P at stop option,
And it's red.
yeah.
Colin, who would you like to place?
I would like to place Eric. I think Eric is clear in the A tier. Kind of better than the rest, but clearly a step behind Danny at this point in the season.
At what point do we want to talk about? We need a trade segment. Is what we need. Because you got to remember, this is Eric's team has undergone a pretty fundamental shift.
I've acquired a Wario.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But we're gonna do this based off current results, I guess. And then we'll talk about that when we talk about Preds, because that affects next week. Hamilton, who would you like to place? The easy ones are gone.
I don't think so. Give me Flying Dutchman and B. Between the did lineup and then I think you said he's going to start using ChatGPT to figure out what the best thing to do is.
Yeah.
I think he's got a real chance of running away with this.
I think ChatGPT gave him the did lineup this week.
I believe that is correct.
I don't think he figured out how to input the data yet.
Oh, okay.
No, he's got it.
Well, he
He's done
can't
it.
run the did lineup this week. He's got to run something else.
I would be resting. I would just be trying to maximize how many times I put that out there.
Just run that did lineup twice and then not have a team
Yep.
for the rest of it.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was him.
Heck, Peach can win if you're the left team. So
For my pick, I would like to stop here.
Do you want to stop with these 3 and D?
Yep.
I think they should be in C at least.
I don't know that that's true.
Okay, well then let's go team by team.
Oh,
I think
I was
I
a-
think Come On Mr. Monty belongs in D. Not that I don't think they have potential in the second half of the season, but I think their results are D level.
Understand why that team isn't winning.
Nope. This season sucks. Colin, where would you like to place one of these teams?
You spelled your own team name wrong, by the way.
Did I?
I would, yeah.
Who's on my team?
Well, your team name didn't change. You're still the Super Ario Brothers.
That was not intentional.
You're staying in D tier
Thanks, bud.
with those two captains.
Hamilton, where do you want
I'm-
to place Fred?
When you said you wanted to leave him, I was not super opposed. Freddie has the worst goal differential and the most goals against, which kind of goes hand in hand. But he also has the least goals for, which also goes hand in hand with having the worst goal differential. But I'm struggling to see how he's turning and righting the ship. And so until we get some concrete facts to support him winning games, I'm inclined to leave him in D tier with the others.
I tried to make trades with Freddie and couldn't come to any consensus. But I feel like this is the Freddie classic. I feel like every season he has a negative goal difference and then he goes into playoffs. I don't get it.
He's a second half manager.
But you just said you don't believe in him the second half of the season.
That's correct.
He's got Bowser Jr. I mean, he did lose to Peach, but
anyone want to make
that
any
result out.
anyone want to make any changes to this SPL tier list?
We just switch you and come on, Mr. Monty. Just on that one goal differential.
No, I don't like that. I will even come on Mr. Monty with Yoshi DK and Mr. Monty over Luigi Mario.
Locking this in. We will ride that segue into predictions for this week. Week 5, the final game of the second half of the first half of the season before we progressed into the first half of the second half of the season. So this is the turning
took
point.
algebra.
I did.
I'm talking to the listener.
All right, any listeners? So first game is Colin versus Jake. Now, normally, logic and reason would point to Colin pretty comfortably for this. I wouldn't be
Why?
lying if I'm a little bit shaken after previous results. I'm gonna take a quick look and see who you guys have available. Even though it shouldn't matter.
I've got the full kit and caboodle outside of Double Dragons.
Do you want to
Jake's
say
missing
what? Do you
one
want to
Birdo.
say whether or not you'll be running PD?
I'm running PD.
Okay. Well, then I'm going Colin and I'm gonna go Colin in 2. This is the inflection point. It's got to start somewhere, and this is it. Hamilton.
Colin's the left team. Every series has been a sweep, I feel like, the last couple of weeks. Colin too.
I'm going Jake in 2.
This man has been crushed. If you told us after the draft that Colin would be predicting Jake over him in 2, I don't think anyone would believe you. But that's that's what 4 weeks without a series win does to a man. Hamilton, you went from one top 2 matchup last week to another top 2 matchup this week.
Yep.
You have everyone available but your dry bones.
Yep.
Dave has everyone available but his hammer bro. So pretty much like for like, missing your best sidekick. Both of you have both captains available. Do you want to state whether you'll be running Bowser or Mario?
I do not want to let him know that information.
Okay. I'm going to look at the rest of your schedule and try and guess. Hamilton, do you want to give your pred?
I can do mine.
Okay.
I'm anticipating a Bowser lineup here. I think this is a top 2 matchup. I think Ham's got to run out his best squad or as best as he can. He doesn't have a dry bones. Dave's down a hammer, bro. So, evens that a little bit. Dave's probably running Bowser Jr. out just because he's kind of just been alternating every week. I'm going Ham in 3.
It's a solid bet. Ham, do you have an opinion?
Give me.
Actually, I would like to change that.
Okay.
I'd like to go Ham in 2.
Ooh.
Dave has 2 Toads, a Boo, and a Koopa as his option. So he's running Koopa and 2 passing characters with then another passing captain. They're going to be moving the ball around.
It's a Dave classic.
But it's gonna be on the captain to put the ball in the net, which he probably can. But
If it's Wario, I'd have some questions. Now, Hamilton, would you like to give your pred?
I don't really want to, but I'm gonna go Dave in 3.
Is that just a self-doubting feeling, or is that a real prediction of what you think is going to happen?
That's a real prediction of what I think is gonna happen.
All right, I'm going to take that as he's running Mario. He does have Reed in week 6 and Garrett in week 7. So he may be looking forward, trying to rest the boys. That's tough.
This is also, I'm gonna throw out there, assuming I submit a lineup.
I mean, you did submit Colin's lineup.
That's true. Doesn't mean anything about mine though.
I think Colin has a fair point that Dave's team looks pretty rough when Hammer Bro isn't out there. I can't think back to if that was when his loss came. He had 4 passers on the field when he had his loss.
Dave lost week 1.
Yeah,
To
so
Garrett.
the bro was out there. Based off that
There's
logic,
also a 6-5 and a 4-3 loss.
yeah, it was a insane series. Could have gone either way. But I am gonna go Ham in 3 because I think that you will be able to field a better team, even possibly with Mario. Oh, never. Your team is weird, man. You got a lot of balance. Okay. I'll stick with it. Garrett versus Reed. This is a Luigi week for Garrett. I think if Reed runs Yoshi, he wins in 2. I need to look at the matchup history between Luigi and Yoshi. But I'll run with that for now. Cam, what's your pick?
I'll do Reed in 2.
Not a great look for Garrett. You're feeling pretty hard pressed by that.
Yeah,
Luigi is
rough
1-3
for
against Yoshi.
Luigi, Amabro, passer, balance. This is Yoshi, Monty, Shy Guy. Oh, and there's a dry bones in there. I'll go Reed, but in 3.
I feel like that's a
He is also
pretty.
the right team.
Oh. No. That's not good. I'll commit to it. Okay, well that's a guarantee. Colin defends the absolute guarantee, which I think this is the second week in a row that we've kind of taken a tough line against Garrett. But I think that's kind of what happens when Luigi's out there. Speaking of Luigi, Eric and I are
Eric
playing
and
each
Sue.
other after a trade with each other. I have shipped Wario and a Shy Guy for Luigi and a Hammer Bro. Colin, you want to start us off because I feel like your opinion on that trade has bled through.
Eric and 2. You don't have dry bones
Austin.
available. You're running a brother, probably Amabro, Monty, and a Toad. I would guess you could run out the old school Dave lineup almost with double Toad, but who knows? Eric's got options. Could break out double Shy Guy.
I think he has to run Birdo, though. That's correct.
He does have to run Birdo without, or he could make a roster move next week.
Give me Austin in 3.
I'm feeling massive right now. I'm going myself in 2. It's going to be easy. It's going to be the worst trade that Eric's made in his entire life. Let's see what
That would be pretty impressive.
What'd you say?
I said that'd be impressive considering season 1.
Right now, in SPL, Mario and Luigi are combined for an 85% win percentage. Large sample size.
Oh yeah, how many games is that?
Don't look at it. And in MLS, Mario has 100% win percentage. So there you go.
Also, very large sample size.
I think that's 2-0.
I think it's 1-0.
Like
two
two
games. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
1 series.
Yep. I believe that's 1-2 in impact. I don't see how you guys aren't seeing the value in this
I've
trade.
picked you.
Yeah. But I can feel like this. I can feel your disapproval of the trade. I don't believe. Chaco versus Freddie. 2 managers who have made top 6 in playoffs both season, a champion, and are at the bottom of the dumpster fest. Freddie has Bowser Jr. available again. Jacob should have Yoshi available.
Give me Jacob in 2. He's the left team. Freddie's incredibly susceptible to being the right team.
That's a great word for it. Freddie definitely has a right team mentality. I just realized that Freddie has double Birdo. I think Jacob's got a better team, and I think he deploys it, but I will say it'll go to 3.
Yeah, I kind of like Freddy's team with the Bowser Jr. If he had like Coop available, then maybe I might pick him. But I think Jacob's team's just gonna be they're almost gonna be running out the same sidekicks, pretty similar. But with Mr. Monty available, we'll go Jacob in 3.
That is the
Which
Mr.
also I would like to point out, I believe, despite the lackluster season, oh no, he might have fallen off a little bit. But I'd say, despite the lackluster season, Mr. Monte, I believe, is still having a good year.
I mean, Monty's and SPL are still having a good year. Probably because I can't
Yeah.
ask this because Colin has the stat sheet open. Hamilton, do you know what Koopa's goals per game in SPL is?
Gotta be like 4. I have no idea. 4 goals a game.
Can I get a rough? Can you? Well, let's get a guess on the quantity of goals that Koopa has scored in SPL.
So after the statement of 4 goals a game, knowing we're 4 games in,
I'll give you a hint. 23 games played by Koopa.
23 games
4
played
goals
by
per
Koopa.
game would put you at, what, 96? 90, something along those lines.
So you're at probably a spectrum between 0 and 96.
I'm
Or
a wager the
92.
0.
Since
0.04.
since goals per game is a 1 decimal stat, you are correct. But
Well, I bumped it out. It's 0.04.
he has scored 1 single goal in 23 instances this season.
An elite stat, that is.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting seeing 2 separate sims play out this year and the very vast differences in sidekicks. In SPL, pretty much every sidekick is underperforming on a serious level in terms of goals, except for Drybones and Monty. And then in MLS, like the numbers look pretty darn close to what you'd expect. It's very strange, but also cool. Just
Oh, yeah.
we have even more data, and that's what SPL is all about. Adam versus Danny. Oh, Danny's resting. Adam's really just gonna freaking walk into playoffs. Bless you. Danny has said
Danny
that
doesn't have to rest.
but he has said multiple times that he will be resting against Adam and playing Bowser against me twice.
Yeah.
That makes this game much more interesting, though.
Each Drybones Monty Koopa versus whatever Adam puts out.
That team does sound better than whatever Adam can put out. And Daisy actually is now the historically worse captain than Peach. Which does not feel right. I kind of want to think on this for a second longer if anyone has an opinion.
I'm gonna go Danny. He's unstoppable.
Adam in 3.
In 3.
There's no way Danny can get Peach 2 wins after 2 seasons of not being able to get her 1.
It could be Daisy though.
What is Peach's record against Daisy? 3-1. Oh my god, dude. If Danny gets another Peach win, I'm gonna dunk my head in sand.
First, ladies and gentlemen, Austin will be coming to the beach trip in Delaware if Danny gets another Peach win. So that way he can dunk his head in sand and go home.
Frick. But if Adam wins, then I'm not making playoffs. This is a disaster. I'm gonna flip a coin.
Who's what?
Danny's heads. Fuck. He's going perfect. Dan and 2. Peach goes up to 5-1 against Daisy. If Adam even plays Daisy, he doesn't have to. I don't think.
No, he doesn't.
No. So I'm gonna go against the coin. I'm going Adam in 3. That's what I actually think is gonna happen.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, I just don't want it. Well, that's what we think is gonna happen in week 5. After this, we'll be entering the flip of left and right, and so we'll get to really see how that plays out in real time. However,
It's gonna be crazy if it actually matters.
it wouldn't make sense, but none of this does anyway. So, yeah, but that's it for this week of NCP. We will save you guys the difficulty of listening to us talk about format for season 4, but just know it is heavily in the works. And whatever we end up on, it'll be exciting. And I think that some pretty core issues with our league structure, mainly the draft, I think that's definitively being rethought. But everything else is TBD. And yeah, Colin, how do you feel about the 10-week season?
I feel good. I love the play both teams twice. I would love to be able to play every team, but not really realistic with the 2-captain format, and I'd rather have the 2-captain format than play every team. But I like the Prem style home and away versus every team.
Yeah, it's
Plus
nice.
gives you more time to come back if you got a rough start.
Yeah, it definitely feels longer, which it obviously is. So we'll see how it all shakes out. And hope to see everyone on Saturday. Peace.